Hey, good morning. This is episode 2 of our house building project, which is behind me. So I got some comments about property ownership based on the last video, and I'm going to, when I get back to the office, address that because there are ways for folks like me, expats who are married to Thai nationals, to protect their ownership in land, and we're going to talk about the 3 ways to do that. But before we get there, let me do an update because lots has changed here on the property, and I'll give you a quick review of that. We'll cut to right now. We did a ceremony before we put in the first vertical, and that ceremony took place. You can see that now, and also you can see that we did quite a bit of concrete pouring for the footings, which our builder has, I think, overbuilt, but in a good way. I think it'll be incredibly strong once we get it done. So let's do a quick tour around and I'll show you the changes, and then we'll cut over to the office and we'll talk about the 3 ways that expats can protect the property that they're investing in here in Thailand without running afoul of the law and trying to buy the underlying real property. All right, so let's turn our attention now. We've had a couple of things happen here. This is the wall we built. Before you get a property house number, that is, somebody comes out from the electrical authority or the water authority, and you've got your bathroom built and you've got a place to live. The provincial electrical authority will rent you a temporary meter. So you can see we now have electric running through the property. In addition to which, we now also have water on the property, which is really helpful as we're mixing all the concrete here. So those are temporary. And again, once we're given a house number, they'll go ahead and install the permanent meters, both for the water and the electrical. All right. So as I said, much has happened since the first episode. And this has been an incredibly quick part of the build. I think things will slow down, obviously, as we get to finishes and so on. So I'm going to turn this around. You can see Kun Rongsi, who's our builder. Hello, Khap. And his family is here today. They brought out the entire family. Wadi Khap. Wadi Khap. So since the last update, all of the footings have been poured and the posts have been poured. Aloha, that's Kun Rungsi, our builder. You can see he shoots lines. Everything is incredibly square. Everything is incredibly strong throughout. This is the side of the house where the guest room and the guest bathroom will be. You'll see some of the stub outs for water already and for wastewater as well. And this will be the back porch area, and back behind by the wall opposite me will be the second bathroom for the fitness room. And then you'll see over here, they were pouring footings yesterday and I couldn't remember, frankly, what the plans called for. But this is going to be a separate area, and we're going to have 3 things back here. We're going to have water storage, we're going to have electrical, and we're also going to have our washing machine back here. So this is going to be basically a little utility room. And of course, the beautiful views here in rural Phetchabun. Okay, back in our offices in Bangkok. As I mentioned, some of you commented in episode 1 that expats cannot lawfully own real property in Thailand. And outside of certain condo projects, that's true. I want to reiterate that my Thai spouse owns the deeds to our properties, and they are registered in her name alone. Some expats try and get around these legal restrictions by forming a Thai limited company and having nominee Thai shareholders, while really controlling the entity. We don't recommend and won't offer legal support for these schemes. There are, however, 3 legal and effective ways for expats to protect the homes they are building and the investments they are making in real property. As ever, this is for information purposes only, and any legal advice must be provided by a Thai lawyer, such as the lawyers we have on our legal team. Now, the 3 ways to protect yourself if you're like me and building a home with your Thai spouse are a long-term lease, a life estate right to occupy or use the property, and a registered right to own the improvements on the property, such as your residence. Each of these has benefits and limitations, so let's dive in. Long-term leases in Thailand can be for up to 30 years and can be registered with the land department if the lease is for a term exceeding 3 years. A long-term lease gives you stability and some inheritance benefits. Also, if you're thinking about applying for a 10-year LTR visa for tax exemption and other benefits, the Board of Investment will recognize leases of 10 years or more as a qualifying investment in Thailand. Now, the downside to a lease is the maximum term. You can include a renewal clause, but that is not guaranteed to be enforceable. So, if you're around my age and a 30-year term will suffice, or you're interested in applying for an LTR visa, then a lease may be a good solution for you. Hey, if you're finding this helpful, please hit that subscribe button so we can continue to post Thai immigration and legal updates. Now, if you want to guarantee a lifetime interest in the property, you can record on the deed a user Fruct interest that is also reflected in the property owner's will. Essentially, this is a life estate beneficial interest in the land, giving the holder the right to live on and use the property for their lifetime. This right is personal to you and cannot be inherited or conveyed to anyone else, and it ends automatically upon your death. Now, this is an excellent vehicle to protect an expat with a Thai family should a spouse predecease them or if issues arise in the relationship. It must also be registered with the land department to be enforceable. However, this instrument is not recognized by the Board of Investment as a viable investment for LTR visa qualification purposes. Finally, expats can register on the deed an interest in the building called a right of superficies. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's kind of the same issue I have with my Thai language skills. In any event, like the life estate in the land, this right can be for your lifetime and can be inherited if drafted correctly. Again, this must be registered with the land department to be enforceable. Once registered, this is an effective way to maintain and protect your and your family's long-term interest in buildings, villas, and homes. It's also a way to establish an investment in Thailand that the Board of Investment will recognize if you apply for the LTR visa. At bottom, with some planning and the right documentation, expats can secure their interest in the homes they build and in the investments they make in Thailand, at least for their lifetime. And outside of becoming a citizen here, these 3 options will ensure you're building your home on a lawful and strong foundation. Hey, thanks for watching, and please hit that like and subscribe button for more Thailand immigration and legal updates.